No matter what's happening here, the scenes pale in comparison to what we've witnessed across Europe. An estimated 300,000 people took to the streets in London on Armistice Day, of all days, and the police predictably scrambled to keep the peace. Now, the organisers claim this is all about pushing for a ceasefire in Gaza, but honestly, when you organise your rally to coincide with a solemn day of remembrance, it's nothing more than disrespecting soldiers that died for you and your country. Just have a look at this footage of people selling poppies for Armistice Day being forced to move on by the mob. Evelyn, the protesters were specifically asked by everyone, including the Prime Minister, would you please just not protest on Saturday? It's Armistice Day. Just let us celebrate or remember our war dead. And yet they went ahead. Should they have been allowed to go ahead, or should the government have really stepped in and stopped it?
Well, I think that first and foremost, you police crimes. You don't police invisible things that haven't happened. So I think that people should have the freedom to express what they want to, and police should deal with the crimes. So if it could be done peacefully, happy days, but we shouldn't turn away peaceful people because you live in fear of what somebody else, some other party might do.
Is there enough evidence with these marches? They have been violent. They have been anti-Semitic. We all know what's going on.
You can't do thought crime. If these people, however distasteful it may be, if these people want to march and they want to march on Remembrance Day, again, politically questionable as to how much support it will engender them. But if they want to make that point, I have far less of a problem with this than going to a particular ethnic enclave.
Let me just make a point, though. This whole scene, everything that you're seeing, just goes to show how divided the West is. Would have something like that happened 100 years ago, 50 years ago? I can't imagine our parents seeing scenes like that. And you've got to ask the question, what has changed? Why all of a sudden are we seeing things like this in the middle of London? And it's because we've got large groups of people who have allegiances to other countries other than the one that they're in. And on a day, like you mentioned, that you're supposed to remember your forefathers, you're supposed to remember the heroes that died and fought to secure those nations, we're forced to focus on a war that's happening in the Middle East. They couldn't even give us one day. So like you said, Joe, I think it's appalling, but if it's a slippery slope if we start policing thought, we start policing freedoms, and I'm not like that. But it's all by design. Global communists have been pushing people for a really long time to not love their nation, to not love where they're from, to not have pride in what their forefathers have done to secure their freedoms. And they do that by diluting heritage, history. And so to a lot of people, days like this mean nothing because they've grown up not thinking that it's a special and important day.
Chris,